Hey guys, in today's video, I will recap Parasyte, the Maxim episodes 10, 11, and 12. Spoilers alert, Shinichi leaves class, suspecting Tachikawa might be in danger. Meanwhile, Tachikawa is facing death. The parasite attacks but misses as Tachikawa trips. She picks up the bottle of acid towards the parasite, which burns it. Tachikawa is forced to jump out of the window to save her life. The parasite is injured after getting too much acid inside while it morphed. Migi sends Hideo, but he finds something wrong with it. His thoughts are in jumbles. Some students are going to the room Tachikawa jumped to find out anyone responsible. Hideo is trying to escape, but is unable to return to his human form. He is unable to control himself. The teacher and the student approach Hideo only to get sliced in half. The surviving teachers call the police. Migi is finding it difficult to locate Hideo due to his incoherent thoughts. Migi finally senses him going towards Shinichi's classroom. Shinichi can't get into combat because the students are evacuating the building. The teachers panic as one class fail to evacuate. Shinichi gets into the building to confront the parasite headed towards Murano's class. Meanwhile, the parasite is in a killing frenzy. Shinichi worries about Murano and her safety. Shinichi goes to the third floor to find several bodies on the ground. He loses his composure and feels like his heart is breaking apart. Shinichi remembers Murano's life depends on him. He gains his composure back to hunt down Hideo. He uses his hearing to find Murano and two other students. Murano and the other students are in complete fear. Shinichi suggests they should go back from where Shinichi came in. The students suspect Shinichi to be the monster and they run off only to die to Hideo. Shinichi takes Murano and escapes through the third floor. He jumps over the fence to get Murano to safety. The police have arrived. Shinichi hands over Murano in the hands of some doctors and plans to do something about Hideo. Shinichi feels responsible for what Hideo did since he already knew what he was and didn't do anything about it. The police have blocked off the area. The police fail to contain Hideo, leave him wounded, injured and bleeding. The parasite decides to head to the rooftop. Shinichi decides to snipe Hideo with a rock. He climbs onto a building 300 meters from Hideo, so he couldn't sense Shinichi attacking him. Migi and Shinichi combine their powers and throw the rock straight through Hideo's heart. A week has passed. The police are still trying to hide the truth about the incident to not cause mass hysteria. Shinichi suggests they should help the police capture the parasites. Migi refuses because he fights for his survival only. He's no ally to humans. However, Migi tells Shinichi it's okay to kill his kind because Migi has no sympathy for his kind, but asks Shinichi if he's willing to kill people without hesitation. Meanwhile, the government is thinking about releasing information related to the parasites without causing panic. They propose they should inform the public on how to identify a parasite. A scientist shows that a parasite creates several sentient cells which can live individually apart from the host for a short period. The scientist recommends pulling out the hair and waiting because if it's a parasite, the hair will shrivel up and die within a few minutes. After a while, the school reopened. Shinichi meets Murano again to talk about how she's feeling. Murano thanks Shinichi for saving her life. She tells Shinichi that Tachikawa is doing okay too. Murano asks how Shinichi was after jumping from such a height. Shinichi tells her that it was an adrenaline rush. The government has not released any information regarding the parasites, but they took safety measures by making it customary to pull out a strand of hair when meeting someone. The custom has made the parasites more elusive in human society, but hasn't stopped them from killing. Kana is in a field plucking flowers while some monster appears out of nowhere and attacks her. A knight in shining armor saves Kana from the monsters. Turns out Kana was having a dream about Shinichi. Kana is waiting for Shinichi and thinking about what he said about Hideo and the wavelength she could sense. Kana sneaks up on Shinichi. He stops Kana and tells her she shouldn't pluck his hair without telling him. With Shinichi's permission, Kana plucks his hair and keeps it safe. Kana asks Shinichi how he knew about Hideo Shimada. Shinichi thinks about telling her everything about the parasites since she can already sense them. However, Migi warns him not to do it. Shinichi tells Kana the next time she senses someone similar to him, she should run away because it might turn out to be a monster. Kana jokingly says next time she senses such a thing, she'll pluck their hair to make sure. Shinichi grabs her and tells her never to do such a thing. Migi tells Shinichi to leave Kana. He warns Shinichi about talking to her. Moreno asks Kana about if she noticed any change in Shinichi. Kana says she hasn't been friends with him long enough to notice. Kana asks Murano if she likes Shinichi. Murano tells her she does and also shares her concerns about Shinichi. Kana leaves after telling Murano to stop moping if she wishes to keep him. A parasite invades a Yakuza office. The parasite kills all the Yakuza members to find out how well he fares against a group of ordinary people. The parasite escapes after slaughtering everyone in the office. Tachikawa finds the news of 22 casualties at the Yakuza's office. Shinichi wonders if a parasite committed the murders, but doubts it because it seems unusual for a parasite to go after so many men at once. The police are onto a suspect, but the parasites remain unnerved since they changed their disguise. Murano and Shinichi are on a date. She tells Shinichi how she wakes up shaking in the morning. She feels jealous, knowing Shinichi doesn't have any of those troubles. Shinichi tells her to think of people as cows and pigs. Humans eat animals all the time, so thinking of people that way will make her less afraid. Murano thinks that's a very odd way of thinking. Murano tries to talk about the trip Shinichi had recently. Suddenly, Shinichi gets up and suggests they leave. They decide to walk together. A kid is crying in front of them. He's having a fight with his mother. Seeing the kid reminds Shinichi of his mother. The kid tells his mother to die while crying, and the mother almost slaps him. Seeing this, Shinichi's heart starts aching. Shinichi gasps for air as he suddenly starts feeling the hole in his chest. He gains his composure back, seeing Murano start to worry. They return after their date together. Kana senses Shinichi nearby and runs towards him. Kana runs in while Shinichi and Murano share a kiss. She leaves her heart broken. Shinichi kisses Murano goodbye. Murano stands, wondering if he is the Shinichi he once knew. She wishes she was closer to him before things changed. The next morning, Kayen's requested Shinichi to do one last favor for her. Shinichi goes to the location she wants to meet. Suddenly, Migi senses 5 parasites approaching. Shinichi goes into hiding to find out the potential threats. Migi senses 8 total parasites, 6 on top and 2 underground. Shinichi sees 6 members of the political party on top of a bus. One of the parasites sees Shinichi. Migi tells Shinichi not to worry since they don't seem to show any interest in him. Kana finds Shinichi. Shinichi is surprised to see her here and asks her what she's doing here. She tells him that she lives here. Shinichi is worried about parasites taking over the government. Kana wakes up from the same dream again. Migi is amazed by how far the parasites have come. Teachers like Tamiya and now politicians as well. Migi and Shinichi think it can't win without knowing human psychology. Migi speculates the parasite either wants to be a decent mayor or secure a position in the government for food. A higher position in society allows them to cover up all tracks of their killing easily. Shinichi needs to do something about it to save people like Kana. Kana can sense parasites, but not as well as Shinichi. Shinichi goes to investigate the mayor's situation. Migi warns him not to since they aren't strong enough to defeat them. Shinichi plans to find out how many of them are in the area. Kana finds Shinichi again. Shinichi asks Kana if she found others sharing his signal. He again warns her about running into people with the signals. Kana speculates the signals lead to parasites. If they do, she asks Shinichi if he is one. Mitsuo interrupts their conversation. He wants to talk to Kana, so Shinichi leaves, telling her he'll meet again to have a serious conversation. Migi asks Shinichi about this serious conversation. Migi speculates Shinichi plans to tell her about the parasites. He threatens to slice her up if she seems like a threat to him. Kana senses a signal again and goes to check. Turns out it wasn't Shinichi, a suspicious woman. She leaves in a hurry. Shinichi texted Kana to meet her somewhere isolated. Shinichi tells Kana everything he knows about the parasites. He also tells her about Migi and how he's stuck in his right hand. Kana thinks he's making up a lie so he could get rid of her. Kana tells Shinichi that she can tell Shinichi apart from the monsters. She believes she has a special connection to him. That's why she would not believe Shinichi until he shows Migi to her. The parasite gets elected as mayor. Shinichi worries about what Kana told him is true. Can she really tell Shinichi apart from the monsters? Shinichi and Murano plan to go to watch a movie. Meanwhile, Kana thinks to herself, why can't Shinichi sense her as she can? She keeps hurting her feelings for him, thinking they are destined to be together. Mitsuo interrupts Kana. He tells her Shinichi isn't right for her. Kana lashes out at him and makes him leave. Migi tells Shinichi that Kana's powers have grown stronger. Apparently, Cayenne's can now emit her own signal. Shinichi thinks her signals will get her killed. Migi tells him that her signal is weak and spans a short radius. Shinichi tells Migi that he has already told Kana about the parasites and Migi. He tells Migi to show himself to her. Shinichi plans to show Migi to Cayenne's the next day. However, Migi senses 2 parasites near their meeting spot. Shinichi calls Kana and tells her to change their meeting spot. Kana plans to show Shinichi her special power. The parasites leave Shinichi without causing any commotion. Shinichi calls Kana but gets no response, so he tries to find her himself. Meanwhile, Cayenne is running towards the signal she believes to be Shinichi. The signal leads her to an abandoned building. Suddenly, Migi picks up a signal of a parasite. Migi speculates Kana might approach it. Kana follows her signal to find a parasite having a feast. She tries to escape, but the parasite pierces through her heart just as Shinichi walks in. He attacks the parasite and takes its heart out. Migi tells Kana has lost too much blood. She dies in Shinichi's arms. Shinichi has been questioned by the investigator for hours. They think Shinichi is a valuable source of information since he found Kana and his mom was a victim of a parasite attack. Investigators failed to find out who killed the parasite that killed Kana. They speculate 2 parasites might have fought between themselves. Shinichi blames himself for what happened to Kana. Migi tells that it was only a matter of time because of her powers. Mitsuo finds Shinichi and beats him for not protecting Kana. He asks how can he still remain emotionless after all that happened. He asks if he's a human. Shinichi punches Mitsuo and tells him that he's too easily broken. Shinichi leaves Mitsuo bleeding. He wonders if Mitsuo is right about him not being human. Has the parasite taken over his brain without him noticing? He bashes his head on a tree to see if he sheds tears. That's all we have for today. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Take care and goodbye.